You've been on his private plane.
Yes.
You've been to stay on his private island.
Yes.
You've stayed at his home in Palm Beach.
Yes.
For years, rumors have followed Prince Andrew about a hidden child living away from the public eye. The royal family denied these claims, while newspapers speculated about the truth.
Prince Andrew of all of his military titles and patronages. This comes after a judge gave the go-ahead for a civil suit that claims Andrew assaulted a young woman when she was 17 years old.
A DNA test has confirmed what some people feared and others secretly hoped was true. The truth about royal bloodlines can no longer be ignored. Join us as we reveal the important details of the DNA test that uncovered the whole story. The hidden heir. It all began with a rumor that Prince Andrew has a secret child. At first, many dismissed it as just another tabloid fabrication.
In the United Kingdom, the royal status of a prince has been demolished, and that's Prince Andrew.
The Queen has stripped Prince Andrew of his military title.
However, this rumor persisted and gained traction, quickly spreading through social media and gossip circles. People speculated wildly, creating timelines and analyzing old photos for clues. Newspapers added to the frenzy with headlines like, "The Duke's hidden heir." Given Prince Andrew's troubled past and scandals, the public was eager to believe the rumor. It suggested he had a secret child bearing royal features and stories of hush money and royal cover-ups. The original whisper transformed into serious questions. As commentators weighed in, former palace staff hinted at hidden truths. What started as idle gossip became an obsession. Then, a key moment changed everything. Someone stepped forward, not seeking fame, but wanting the truth. They called for a DNA test, shifting the conversation from rumors to hard evidence. This request took the situation to a new level. A DNA test isn't gossip, it's factual and precise. Once the request was made, the public demanded answers. The palace's response? Complete silence. No comments or denials. This only fueled the story further. The longer they stayed silent, the larger the rumor grew. Prince Andrew, who had tried to stay out of the public eye, suddenly faced the spotlight again. Not for royal duties, but for a paternity test that could change everything. The claimant steps forward. The story begins with the claimant, a quiet person who claimed to be Prince Andrew's biological child. Their real name wasn't important. What mattered was their journey. They grew up far from royal luxury, but now they were on the brink of uncovering the truth about their identity. This was not about fame, but understanding who they were and finding a place to belong. They had spent years searching for answers and finally decided to request a DNA test from the prince. The public wanted to know more about this person, so the media began investigating every detail of their life. Instead of drama seekers, they found someone humble, raised by a single mother, with a solid education, but a private life. This person felt a bottomless emptiness, like a crucial piece of their life was missing. They believed that the piece related to their claim. This claim did not appear out of nowhere. It followed years of family rumors and a significant moment, a confession from their mother before she died. She revealed a brief but intense connection with Prince Andrew during a time when royal rules were starting to loosen, and silence could be bought. Reactions from the public were mixed. Some believed the claim right away, others dismissed it as nonsense. Tabloids had a field day with headlines like, "The Forgotten Royal, DNA Bombshell on the Way." But behind the sensational stories lay a genuine human experience, someone searching for clarity in their life. This search came with genuine fear. They worried not only about being wrong, but also about being right. If the DNA test confirmed their story, what would being royal mean if no one acknowledged them? What would it feel like to have royal blood, but not the acceptance that comes with it? And if the test disproved their claim, they would just be labeled a fake, another forgotten story. This situation was more than a courtroom drama. It was a profoundly personal struggle over truth, identity, and the future of someone's life. As news of the DNA request spread, the situation grew more intense. Supporters pushed for transparency, while skeptics mocked them as seeking attention. What impact will this have on Prince Andrew's reputation? Let's explore that. Andrew's image at risk. Prince Andrew has faced many scandals that damaged his reputation, such as his connection to Jeffrey Epstein and a poor TV interview that led him to step back from royal duties. For a time, it seemed the media had moved on, but a new DNA claim reignited the controversy. Buckingham Palace worked hard to manage the past scandals, but this new claim was much more serious. If it is true, it could hurt Andrew and the monarchy. The media jumped on the story, providing 24/7 coverage and examining every part of Andrew's life. Public demand for answers grew. with people expressing frustration with the phrase, "not again." This scandal felt different, as it suggested Andrew could be betraying his family. Experts wondered about the consequences. Could Andrew lose any remaining public role? Would there be court battles or issues with royal succession? Buckingham Palace's silence made the situation worse, as advisors rushed to find a plan. Even other royal family members showed concern and understanding of the high stakes. Throughout this, Andrew remained silent, which many saw as a sign of guilt. The public is now waiting for one thing: the results of the DNA test. The demand for DNA. The demand for a DNA test grew stronger daily, and time ran out. Behind the scenes, legal teams and advisors were intensely focused on this issue. It wasn't as simple as just taking a quick swab. This was a critical situation where every detail was very important. The claimant had already filed a formal request through their lawyer, highlighting the emotional impact and the right to know one's true parentage. For Andrew, this wasn't just a legal obstacle. It was a choice that could define his entire legacy. Refusing the test might make him seem guilty. It could lead to leaks and scandals that couldn't be controlled. The palace fell into an uneasy silence, but urgent meetings were happening behind closed doors. Could they manage the entire process? Could they ensure it remained private? Protecting privacy was their top priority. If they were collecting a sample, they needed to ensure a flawless chain of custody, no weak links. Royal protection officers would have to oversee every step, reducing the chances of any tampering to zero. Choosing the right laboratory became a significant challenge. It couldn't be just any clinic. It had to be independent, highly respected, and completely unbiased. The scientists involved needed to take strict oaths of secrecy. Lawyers reviewed every document closely. The entire process had to be recorded and checked at every step. As all this unfolded, time continued to pass. The press fed the excitement with daily updates and speculation. Newspapers began running test trackers, turning the situation into a suspenseful countdown. Had the test already been done? Was Andrew delaying? Why hadn't the palace made any statements? Each day without news fueled more suspicion. Paparazzi watched possible testing sites, eager for any movement. Reporters buzzed about delivery couriers and sealed envelopes that might contain pivotal results. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation. Would the DNA test reveal the truth? Or would it just open the door to more controversy? Let's find out. Inside the DNA laboratory. Away from the noise of cameras, reporters, and the palace gates, a quiet room held a lot of tension. This room was a DNA lab, bright white and sterile. Inside, it contained secrets that were more important than royal history. The lab workers, dressed in white coats, moved quickly and carefully, as if they had done this many times before. But everyone in the room understood the seriousness of the situation. This was not a regular paternity test. They were testing royal blood. The samples arrived under heavy security, tightly sealed and protected, as if they were valuable treasures. One sample came from a person who claimed a royal connection, and the other sample came from Prince Andrew, collected secretly to avoid any mistakes. The team performed double and triple checks on each vial. They logged each one carefully, scanned it for security, and sealed it again. They put on gloves as they prepared to handle a sensitive task, testing a royal bloodline. This was not just about genetics. It involved a heritage tied to kings and queens. The testing focused on short tandem repeats, STRS, unique DNA patterns that act like genetic fingerprints and are unaffected by scandals. As machines worked in the background, data printed out. Tension grew as whispers spread. It's real. The numbers are aligning. Each check brought them closer to a significant result. The final report was carefully prepared. They did not use email or cloud storage. Instead, they sealed one envelope, which was hand-delivered. This envelope contained a truth that could confirm or destroy a royal lineage. The STRs helped provide a 99.9% certainty about paternity, much more reliable than rumors. Still, possibilities for error existed. DNA can sometimes change, and mistakes can happen, so strict protocols were in place. The chain of custody had to remain unbroken. Without that, the results would be meaningless. The public wanted the truth, but truth can be fragile. As the envelope left the lab, questions and potential fallout began. What secrets would the envelope reveal? Would the public accept the results? The results revealed. An envelope quietly arrived from the DNA lab and was sent to the palace's legal team. Inside was a document that had the power to change the monarchy. In a secure room, 3 people, a serious lawyer, a nervous aide, and a court official, sat around a table. They opened the envelope in silence. The only sounds were the paper rustling and a ticking clock. Their reactions showed disbelief and the weight of what was coming. After sealing the document, it went to the king. But secrets like this don't stay hidden for long. By evening, the press buzzed. DNA results are in. Palace gearing up for statement. Reporters crowded outside the palace, waiting to hear the news. Inside, Prince Andrew waited for a briefing that could change his life. At 6 o'clock, a spokesperson stepped out. The DNA analysis results are conclusive, they announced, revealing a confirmed biological link. Gasps and cheers erupted in the crowd. Soon after, headlines spread. Royal shock. Andrew's DNA bombshell. The monarchy had changed dramatically, raising questions about titles and recognition for a potential new royal. For many, this moment confirmed their long-held beliefs, while Andrew faced the huge impact of the news. Andrew's shocking statement. The next morning, Prince Andrew tried to calm the storm with a statement. It was short, flat, and devoid of emotion. I acknowledge the results of the recent DNA testing. I will address this matter privately with the cooperation of all involved parties. And that was it. Nothing more. No apology, no hint of warmth or humanity, just a cold, calculated stab at damage control. But the public wasn't buying it for a second. On social media, people were ripping it apart, calling it heartless and detached. Commentators labeled it outright cowardly. A scandal this massive called for real honesty and accountability, but all Andrew gave was distance and deflection, public backlash, and royal fallout. The backlash against Andrew was fast and intense. People started petitions to strip him of his royal titles. Debates on television questioned his future. Charities quietly removed his name from their websites. Inside the royal family, tensions were high. Rumors say King Charles worries about losing sleep, while Prince William is furious. Some insiders mentioned that the Queen Consort wanted Andrew to step aside again. The claimant stayed out of the spotlight, and their lawyer said, "We welcome the truth. We ask for dignity moving forward." Finding dignity amid the chaos was difficult. The palace rushed to release statements, but nothing worked. The public had seen the evidence, and Andrew's already damaged reputation suffered another blow. Then things got worse. Every central news channel provided non-stop coverage. The BBC called it a watershed moment for the royals. CNN labeled it the Royal Reckoning. Social media exploded with hashtags like Royal Truth and DNA Storm. Experts quickly shared their opinions. Some royal historians compared this to the abdication crisis of the 1930s. Legal experts discussed inheritance laws and possible impacts. Public relations professionals labeled it the worst crisis the palace has faced in a long time. As time passed, opinions became harsher. Polls showed Andrew's approval ratings were falling fast. Once the Queen's favorite son, he became the most disgraced figure in the monarchy. The DNA test not only revealed a child but also confirmed long-held suspicions. Trust, once broken, is hard to rebuild. Behind palace doors, whispers grew louder. Some insiders claimed King Charles held urgent meetings with his advisors. One source stated that Charles privately said, "This may be the final chapter." Andrew disappeared from public view. He had no appearances at events or ceremonies. The palace claimed he was spending time with family, but the public knew it was a national issue, leaving a deep mark on the royal family's image. Comparisons to past scandals arose, but none stung as much as this one. A secret child, years of public denials, and a definitive DNA test. The monarchy seemed unprepared and struggled to keep up with the truth exposed by science. Ultimately, titles didn't matter. Andrew's legacy was set. This was not a small mistake, but a significant fall from grace. Some believed truth was vital, while others warned it might lead to more lawsuits. People worldwide watched closely, and the message was clear. No one can escape the truth revealed by DNA. When people began to digest the shocking news, a new twist emerged. A letter leaked from a royal aide hinted at a second DNA test. This test matched another person close to Andrew, not Andrew himself. What do you think about the impact of this revelation? Let us know in the comments, and please like and subscribe.